Okay. Wowee. I wonder if anybody's gonna show up. How do I know? I haven't done Instagram Live before, so... Oh, I see you down there. Hey everybody. What's going on? Oh, I have the where? There you are. If everybody isn't in the Discord, go join the Discord. I don't have the link, but it's a fun time. I've missed out on a lot of stuff that people have been saying. Whoa. Get on. Oh, sweet. Hi, everybody. Hi. I hope you enjoyed Lucids. I'm wearing my Lucids merch. It was great fun to make. It took me a month to make that episode, which was a long time. No, not just that episode by itself. I was also filming episode 6. So I have everything filmed. Everything is ready to go. And yeah, that was the ep. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I haven't. Where's the link to the Discord? I don't know how Discord works. I'm in a little tiny corner of my own there, and I answer questions when people want. And we have occasional pizza wars, and it's very fun. Oh, hey Quinn. Hey Quinn. Thank you so much for watching it. If you have not seen part 5, there are going to be a lot of spoilers here, so please go watch now. So that way I don't spoil anything for you. I would hate that because I think a lot happens in this episode. I'm really not sure. I've been looking at it for too long, so it doesn't sound like English to me anymore, but I'm pretty proud of it. I like it a lot. Love the worksheet Easter eggs. Yes, I'm so glad people are picking up on the worksheet Easter eggs. Those were fun to make. Especially the math one, as immature as it was. Very fun. Creative to do. Thank you very much. Is that a Batman costume? No, that's a Batman poster. This is my girlfriend in my apartment. So those posters she has had for a long time, and they look great above the couch. So we just put them there, and she loves Batman, and I love Batman too. So, will someone help that poor worksheet worker? Who knows? But he found a light in the basement, so maybe he'll crawl towards it one day. I made some stills from the show. I'm currently on a bit of posting hiatus. Oh my goodness, Stargaze! Oh, I would love to see that. I love your art so much. I'd love that. Yes, please. As soon as you're ready to post, because I get that. Yes, I forgot everything between each episode. Thank God for the recaps. I'm so glad you liked it. I was very nervous about putting a recap in because I liked the way the episode just started with the before in Another Dreamscape. But I figured it had been so long and so much has happened that a recap was kind of necessary. I'm not sure it covers everything, but I did my best. Crystal, hello. Where is she? Where are you? No one tell Crystal where I am. Nicholas, me and my friends stay up until 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for staying up. Thank you, English folks. Thank you, Brits. Nicholas, where do we send art if we make it? Should I get a P.O. box? Will you guys try to poison me if I make a P.O. box? Like, will there be, like, weird, sketchy, like, letters that I open, puff of white powder, and I die? Like, is that how P.O. boxes work? Will I die if I do that? Maybe. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you for coming to Chris Child. It's coming up on a year for that, which is crazy. Which means it's coming up on a year for Jasper. That's the weirdest thing. I think April 4th is year for Jasper. And that's going to be weird because it has not felt like a year. But yeah, what an amazing ride it's been to go from there to a 22-minute long episode. That's wild. Post office has defenses for that? Really? Oh. Okay, well then I can open a P.O. box. I'd love that because one of my favorite parts of Cursed Child was getting letters like people had questions and they would write them down, and I got to, you know, fill them back out and send it back. And it was hands down one of my favorite things to do, was like see the creativity of thought that went behind thinking how people thought about the show and the questions they had and how in-depth they were. And it was such a joy to not only read but also to start a correspondence in that way, and that was really fun. So I'd love to do that. I liked how we got to see more of Jasper's actual personality in this episode. Aw, yeah. I mean, we've never really seen him without Quinn. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen him without Quinn. And so putting him in a scenario where he was kind of vying for himself was really fun. I really liked putting him in that scene. And I like that we're so mad that the moment we've been waiting for of Oliver revealing his secret to Benjamin gets interrupted. We're like, damn. And it's interrupted by Jasper, and no one could be mad at him. So that was great fun to be able to write in. Benjamin is my god. Oh, I really like Benjamin. I think Benjamin doesn't get enough love these days. Are you watching?
Half my family is on here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, look, if you look, it's my aunt.
Where?
Wait, where is it?
Oh, hi Vic. Hi Quinn.
Auntie
Dan!
Dan!
Oh my goodness.
And then look.
What? Hi Vic and Candace. Hi.
Bye.
This is Crystal.
Hi guys.
What did you think of the episode?
It was great.
It was great.
I didn't get a credit, but it's fine.
That's right. She needs a handwriting credit. I need to edit that on YouTube. I need to edit handwriting. She's the handwriting of the teacher.
It's amazing how delayed it is.
Is it? Oh. But I'm delayed to people's comments, like when they comment. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Sorry. Hello. Oh, the wild girlfriend has appeared, is what they're saying. The wild girlfriend.
I am pretty wild,
Yeah.
so I get it. Okay, I'm gonna go do laundry now. Love you, Vic!
Hey, I did the laundry.
I'm gonna fold the laundry.
Fold the laundry. Yes, it's teamwork here. Teamwork. Ain't she great? Ain't she great, folks? Well done. A hand. Can Crystal confirm if Quisper is official? No, I don't think she can. I can't confirm that either, because it's me acting with myself. And if you want Quisper to be official, go with God. But I will not write a romance between me and myself. I will not. I assume that's what you're talking about with that name. I think so. Oh my gosh, Emily is here. Where's Em? Hi, Em. Jasper and Quinn, please ship for life. I really like playing them. Like, I love playing their relationship. Like, I think that is so much fun to, maybe not in person, because in person it's a little weird to be like, imagine a person there. Because I have, images for each of the characters, and they don't look like me. They look like how I imagine the characters, and then I try to put that face on, and I proceed. But I, when looking off camera at an empty space, imagining that person there, that's always the tough part. Where it really starts paying off is in editing, when I get to put the two together, and I'm like, there they are, right? There's that relationship. And I also, obviously I adore the relationship of all four of them and how, they sort of cross personalities, but Benjamin and Oliver, I really do love, and I like playing them too. They have the most dialogue between the two, because both of them are very talkative people. I gotta say, Quinn is a great name. Quinn Blades, everybody. Quinn Blades. Forgot it's all shot by it's just me with a tripod, and that's it, on a cliff. Very cold. Woo! Okay, so in order to get that last scene, I woke up at 5:10 in the morning, every morning for about a week. And I drove out for 30 minutes to get to that cliff. I got to that cliff at about, by the time I was ready and done, I would leave the house at 5:40, so I'd end up at the cliff at 6:10. just as the sun was coming up. And I would wait for maybe 8 minutes. That would be prime time to get the shots. And I would have approximately 30 to 40 minutes to film before the sun rises above the mountains and while it's still light enough to film. So I had this 30 to 40 minute window to film in. And it was, so I'd go film for 30 to 40 minutes, hope I didn't mess up my lines, and then get in the car and drive back and do the rest of the scenes for the rest of the day. But that scene was absolutely intense. Why is Batman in the mirror? Why shouldn't he be? Why can't he be? Is he not supposed to be? Excuse me. Do you still film on a phone? I don't. I now film on my... I can't. My Canon Rebel T6i, which is pretty dated at this point, but it's still a really trusty, good, hardy camera. Not too expensive as cameras go. So if you're looking to becoming a filmmaker and you need like a camera around, I'll be entirely honest. I think the Rebel Canon was $750, which is a lot, but for a camera, like for the amount of usage I've gotten out of that camera, and I saved a lot like for it, and it's really paid off for the amount that I've used it. So it's good quality, not obviously not the best quality, but it's good, and I'd suggest it. Okay, not to start another war or anything, but I prefer the MCU. Whoa, to what? Because if I'm your entire, then you're my keyboard. So did I start on TikTok or YouTube? I started on stage, and then Broadway shut down because of COVID. And so I went back home without a job. Basically Broadway was shut down, and so I didn't have a job anymore. And I started making little tiny videos on TikTok just for fun. And then I made Jasper, and Jasper blew up. And I was like, well, you know what? I think I'd like to make a second episode of Jasper. I was already writing Adventures of Benjamin Oliver, and I figured, you know what? I can combine the two already by the second episode of Jasper. And that's when that started, of being like, I want Benjamin to be in there, and I want that to turn into like dreamscapes and stuff. And so basically around Benjamin and Oliver 4, I had Lucids figured out. And so this has been a lot of waiting and a lot of execution, of like, I have the ideas. Now all I have to do is figure out writing. How am I going to get them across? Filming. How do I get these shots? Because I just write them down. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to limit myself by what I can do. I'm just going to write exactly how I, as an audience member, would like to see it. I want to see it. I want to see this shot. I want to see this scene told in this way. And there have been shots that I've written that require helicopters and crane shots and like many people. And I've written them because I've been like, you know what? I just want to write them. Then comes the part where I start filming, and I'm like, okay, well, this is today's scene. And I have to film it. And I don't have a crane. I don't have a helicopter. I don't have a bunch of extras. How do I film it? And I feel like it's a really good lesson for me and for anybody to, the amount of limitations you have, the smaller the box in which you can play, the more kind of mind-bending stuff you have to do. And it comes up, I'm thinking about the Star Trek movie, the first remake Star Trek movie. They did a really cool thing where they were the scene is that they're diving into a planet, and they're like, skydiving inwards. And I watched the behind the scenes thing, and there's a lot of CGI for all the wide shots and everything. But for the close-ups, what they did is they made the actors stand on mirrors. So it looked as though the sky was behind them for the shot. They were like, here, there's a mirror on the ground, and the actors are looking up like this towards the sky, but it looks as though the sky's behind them. And it's just this really cool, they didn't need to do that, but what a cool way of getting something done that is so doable by anybody. You get a big mirror, friends or whatever, stand on it, clean it afterwards, and you have a shot where you are in the sky. And that's brilliant. And so for me, a lot of solving things have been like, when I really want to go wide, maybe do I change the aspect? Do I, in fact, go closer? Do I change up the music? Because a lot of stuff, like, I'll film it and I'll be like, I don't think that was it. I don't think so. Let me see what I can do in post. And I'll try something with the music to make the music open up the scene. Anyway, I've been ignoring what folks have been saying. Hello. Oh, everybody's just been saying Autry. Can you release the music from the series? Yeah, I'd love to eventually. I've released one song from the series. It's called Sedona. And I released it maybe 2 weeks ago on Spotify, on Apple Music. It's the one from the end of episode 2. And I'm a big fan of Sedona. I actually wrote it for that episode, and I liked it so much that I ended up writing it as a full song afterwards, which was great fun. Oh, yay! I'm so glad you noticed the theme at the end. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for noticing that. Did Mrs. Hills bite Oliver's apple? I hate reading questions that I can't answer. I can't answer it, I'm sorry. Posters are so good. Yes, yeah. Vio, we will write this song, no stress. Oh, okay. How did I get started with all this? Like at first, you didn't know anything. You didn't know how to do anything. Yeah, I didn't know how to. No, I've been writing music forever, and I went to school for acting, and I'm an actor. But as far as like filming and like shots, I haven't taken any filmmaking classes, which I think in certain shots kind of shows. I would love to eventually go to, a few classes for film, because I think there are at least just shortcuts and just like very obvious things that I would love to learn that might make my life easier at the very least. But I'd love to, learn more about it. But no, I really just started by filming on my phone and switching directions. And I love watching films. So, if I ever had a question on how to do something, I would watch a film. If it's an action sequence, I would watch Iron Man or like one of the Marvel movies. If I had like a question about like more intimate scenes, anything from Call Me by Your Name. Yikes. No cannibal jokes here. No cannibal jokes. Or like even Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies, and that has so much like cinematography tips. Even though it's animation, it's so cool to see what happens when you have no limitations, right? Like the world is your oyster in that film. And so I base a lot of the shots of like, I want to see the word of pachow like come up out of like the hit. And I can't have that, but I still can write it, and I can figure out how to kind of manage with what I've got. It's really fun. Thank you for all the amazing Oh, thanks. Thanks for watching. From the scene from Cursed Child to all of your Reese's. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for watching all of them. Narration was filmed here. So yeah. Who knows? I know that I do have to finish Lucids first. I cannot start narration until I finish Lucids. I can't continue narration until I finish Lucids. But I miss Hero, and I have that whole story planned out as well. And I have a new one on top of that, which the new one I'm really excited for. I really want to get started on that. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but imagine on IMDb they credit you as man who played a teacher voiced by his mom. I wonder how that crediting would go. If my mom is here, your people can call my people and we can talk through, crediting. I watched Imaginary Best Friend. Oh, amazing. I love that skit. That skit was filmed actually right there where the Amazon package and the wall hangers are right now. I filmed that there. That was such a fun skit to do. A new one. Yeah. I've been cooking up this new little, I think it might just be a one-off. I think it might just be like either a short film or I don't think I can make it into a series. I don't think there's enough character in there. I think it's more concept driven, but boy, do I like the characters that I'm not workshopping, but kind of writing out little pieces every now and then. And it's really fun. I'm not writing out pieces. I've written maybe a few things. Mostly I'm just thinking about it a lot. Please let Oliver and Benny be friends. I fear the entire dreamscape is Oliver's trauma. I don't want him to lose Benny. Oh no! I will not confirm nor deny. I can't, like, I don't want to give any spoilers. We're so close to the end. We're one episode away from everything being revealed, almost everything. I think there are some things that are still going to have to be kind of discerned, but I think they should be easy enough to discern. The main things are going to be answered. I don't know. I still have yet to edit all of it, so I'll figure it out. How do I edit 2 of yourself in one shot? Very carefully. I'm sure there's got to be a YouTube video somewhere, right? I don't know. I don't want to give away how I do it because it's a trade secret. I bet you could figure it out on YouTube. You can do it on like iMovie. You can do it on any editing program. I'm using the most basic form of Final Cut there is. Everything I'm doing with like Logic and Final Cut, you could easily do with iMovie and GarageBand. I'm not doing anything crazy at all. You know, and I have 0 budget. I paid an expense for something, for a prop or something. What did I pay? It was very silly. I paid an expense for some prop. Oh, the juice boxes and the fruit by the foot and the Domino's pizza, the pineapple pizza. That's where my budget went. That's my budget. Petition for A Tree Man spinoff. Oh man. I left my red A Tree hoodie in Los Angeles, and I miss it dearly. I think my mom has it. She's wearing it around Los Angeles as sort of an advertisement for Lucids, in case anybody stops her and says, "Hey, what's that?" Are you a lucid in real life? I'm not. I cannot lucid dream. I have trouble sleeping, period. Not that I've like, just like, I lie down for a while and pretend to be asleep in order to get to sleep, where some people can just sort of conk out. Not I. Basically everybody in the series can do that, apparently. Wasn't there a dead pixel on most of the shots in the newest episode? Yes. I don't want to bring too much attention to it, but that is something I'm looking into because I didn't notice it until I was editing, and gotta look into that. But I don't really mind that much, you know. I've already filmed everything, so not much I can do. But yikes! Can you make an explanation video? No. I made that James Jasperson video which explains some of the ideas, but I kind of want the world and how I've written it to sort of speak for itself. Of kind of like, I have it very clearly in my head, and my challenge is to put that world and that concept into dialogue and into film and into music and give it to you and be like, right? You know, and I think a part of it is kind of piecing together, you know, I give you what I have, and then you sort of piece together what you take away from it. And I think that conjunction is so brilliant. I think that is the best part, where you get to, I don't know, there are so many theories that I've heard that I would have never thought of, and I haven't adapted any. I've kept very true to how I've like originally seen it, but I love hearing them, and I don't want to ruin anybody's experience by giving like a definite, like, these are all the questions answered. You know, I'd rather have a few things still up in the air. Not that, I mean, we'll see with episode 6, because episode 6 is, I'm so excited for. I'm so stoked. I made more dank memes. My mom, I think my mom wrote that line. No, she brought up the idea that Mrs. Hills might want to talk about dank memes again, and I was like, that's hilarious. And so we were like recording her lines, and I was like, can you hear her say this? That was really fun. Arthur Appreciation. When is Summertime Dropouts coming out? So this is a great question. Summertime Dropouts coming out. Summertime Dropouts starring Josh Richards is a movie, is a film that will not be coming out in, I don't know when. I don't know when it'll be coming out. Arthur Appreciation chain. Let's go. Don't eat the apple like that. Don't eat what apple like that? What did I do wrong? How did I eat the apple wrong? You put out a 22-minute episode and people will critique your apple eating. Huh? Just finish it. Welcome back from finishing it. How was it? How did you like it? Do you have any family and friends? Do you like involving your family and friends with your project? Of course. I mean, if I could, I would be doing this with, actors and like with other people. The only thing is that we're, in a global pandemic. And so when I started, it was just me and a phone. And that's how Jasper happened. And so now that I've sort of gone down that road of world building, that's the world. That's the world. And so I can't introduce new faces now that I've already said everybody's face is my face. And so, once, obviously, if I get a budget to pay people and, when COVID is either over or more manageable, of course I would love to work with other people. My favorite thing is collaborating with people. Because, it's really nice making this series, but I'd be fascinated with how it would look or what it would be like if I was crossing over with other people's ideas. That would be so much fun. So, and I mean, anybody, Crystal, my parents, my sister, anybody can tell you that, like, as soon as I'm finished with a scene or like with a score or anything, immediately the first thing I want to do is show it to people, because I'm like, what are your ideas? Like, I need external ideas from my own, because that's always how great stuff happens. And so, I'm really jonesing for collaboration, but it'll happen eventually. And all of that is to say that I have learned so much, and I wouldn't do Lucids differently at all. I love the way that it's come out. I love doing it by myself. I think it's like, I've learned so much, if that makes sense. So that's been great. Is there anything symbolic about the knockoff Japple brand, or is it just a bit of a joke? I think it is just a bit of a joke. The reason it exists is because Oliver suggested that Apple stop changing its chargers, and so that left a hole in the market. So then Japple took over and was like, I will change my chargers, and that's what made them so successful. But that's Japple is just, James Jasperson names everything with a J, and so why not Japple? Like the J phone. If you zoom in episode 3 and you pause when he's calling Jasper, you can see that I don't even know if you can see it that well, but if you zoom in, you can see that I managed to edit out in the FaceTime frame so that it says Jace time. I think that's the only thing, but yeah, I decided to put everything with a J. How long till we get part 6? I'm thinking 2 weeks. With the trajectory of, like, I have everything filmed. All I have to do is edit and score, and typically that takes maybe a week and a half. I'm gonna give myself 2 weeks for episode 6 because it's a beast. I mean, part 5 was a beast. I've been working pretty much nonstop since the last time you saw me, to film both episodes and edit part 5. So I'm really glad that I can finally put it out. How do you match your parents' voices to your lips? Actually, I match my lips to my parents' voices. I record them first, and then I play the audio and I lip sync to them. So that's how I memorize their rhythms, and it's extra fun if I can, like, if they have like a breath or like a lip smack somewhere there, or a swallow or something, to mimic that in acting, because those little things are the things that really, more than words, will convince you that it's not a foreign voice, that it is actually my voice. And that's the whole point, is like, even though it's such a big trick, I really want to trick your brain into thinking that it's not happening. And that's the majority of the work, is like, there are 3 of me in a shot, and the majority of the work goes into you not noticing. Or there's tons of stuff happening in the music in the background, but it's all serving the story, right? So that way you're not paying attention to, oh, there's so much music going on in the background. You're like paying attention to the story mostly. And the music is, thank you for all of your comments about the music. They're so appreciated, but I do hope that it all is in service of the story. Where did you get Very Big Book, a Very Biggest Book? I made them. I made those book covers, and I printed them out, and those are homemade. Jar mapped. How did I come up with the idea of Lucids? It came up when I was making Benjamin and Oliver, and then it's just a continuation, and so I've been so excited to share it ever since I came up with like Benjamin and Oliver episode 4. I've been so excited to share this idea, and so it is so cool to put it out into the world. Also, put it out on a new platform of YouTube where I can really extend, not just beyond a minute, but also dive into characters, dive into production, and give this story what it is, in my opinion, worth. Like, give it the attention, like give it everything I have. And it sometimes it's still not enough. Sometimes I look at shots and I'm like, if only I had that thing, if only I had like $20,000 to like make that happen. But it's what I have, and I know that I have the platform, and that I have the platform mostly to really give it everything I have, because I really am giving this everything I have. And there's nothing more rewarding. There's nothing more rewarding than, like, I so enjoy that people watch it, but even if people didn't, it's a bit like sitting back. There's nothing like the feeling of like writing a score, sitting back, listening to it with the scene going on, and be like, yes, it works. That is such an unbelievable feeling. And so, yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it. If only I had a helicopter and a crane. Yeah. I don't know how much music stuff is not like incredibly obvious. There's some cool stuff that happens in this episode. It's pretty much nonstop scoring. So the hard thing about this episode, and I was telling the Discord this, but it was like, most of the music is atmospheric. It lends itself to make you pay attention to the words more rather than being like a whole musical moment. So I took the musical moments where I could, but mostly it was like, pay attention. Here's the theme of this character, but mostly we're focusing on the chords, so that way the voice can float on top, can like rest above it. Let's see. What did I... Minute for Yourself, I'm glad everybody liked that. So far the comments have been very nice towards the song in the middle, which is really sweet. So thank you guys. Jeez. Where do I start? Oh gosh. 5.8 score, sure. Hang on, everybody. How's everybody doing? I haven't gone live on Instagram before. This is so sweet. This is so fun. If you're not interested in music, thank you so much for watching. Go buy the merch. It's super fun. It's a great one. Sorry. Which part of the process in Lucids brings you the most creative fulfillment? Acting, writing, all of it. It is. Oh my goodness. It's the best. I'm just watching for the Pigeon song to randomly pop in an episode. It is. Do you not know this? The Pigeon song. The Pigeon song is the song playing in the grocery store on the very first scene of Benjamin and Oliver. Listen, that's the Pigeon song. And in Benjamin and Oliver 3, when they go to high school, they go to the retirement home, they go to... That's it. It's different versions of the Pigeon song that are playing throughout. Yeah, the Pigeon song is everywhere in those moments, because that's what was playing in the Whole Foods. So yeah, Pigeon song is there. Yeah, come on. Let's see. This was really fun to write. So this is the very last scene, and I sent this to the Discord. If you join, it's there. I think you can download it. I'm really not sure. But this is the last scene. So there you have Jasper Prime's theme. He's sitting on the cliff. It's a good time. Oh, thank you so much for saying about the acting. That was actually the most intimidating part. I've acted, obviously I've been acting this whole time, but this was the first time that actually took on some emotional weight not the first time, but it was a very emotional episode. And so, I don't know, I was like really glad that it worked out, and it was a risk, but it was nice. Especially on SoundCloud or something, yes it is. So, we are revolving around the love theme. And the love theme is a theme that I used when I said thank you so much for 100,000 followers on TikTok a while ago. And I have this song that I've written that's one of my favorite songs I've written. And I used it. And people were like, where is this song? And it's not finished at all. But I'm so happy to finally include in the Lucids verse because I have plans with this song for the Lucids verse. And I wanted to introduce it, as we come towards the end. If this is a song of celebration and the series is about to end, then, yeah, I wanted to start using it. So we have which is the interval, it's not the interval, but it's the same instrumentation and the same slide of Oliver's accident music. So he's coping with his own trauma in that moment. Meanwhile, we have hints of Quinn's theme going around, and now we really zero in. We double time. And that's... I'm ready for tomorrow, but I can't outgrow love. You can count on me with love. Tomorrow will go, but I'll always stay in love. Which is, conveniently, Jasper's theme as well, that little interval. Which is Jasper. And now here we are. This is Mrs. Hills. So that's Mrs. Hills, right? They're talking about Let Her Let You Go. And so we get this huge Mrs. Hills theme going back into Quinn for that last moment. Is Quinn. So we leave on Quinn, but that's just a huge mesh of all the characters. And then they get in a little argument, and then it goes to Skyline. Skyline is a song I wrote when I was 19, and I loved that song so much. And the recording you're hearing is me at 19. That I have never re-recorded it. I decided to take the raw recording of me when I wrote it, my summer between my second and third year of college. And yeah, that's it. Why did Oliver wake up into Benjamin's dream? Thank you. It's so much fun to make. It is so much fun to make. Here's something you'll really get a kick out of. Now that I'm thinking about it. Where is it? This is 5.6. This is in Benjamin's apartment where they're waiting. That is a new sound that I've been sort of messing with, and it's but that kind of is kind of a grittier sound that I wanted to use in this episode, which was fun to create and adapt and make it to what it is. Isabel's theme. When he's looking at the clock, he realizes it's 5, and then she's not coming. So Isabel's theme plays with that. You get the guitars underneath. Then yep, now it's Oliver's accident theme. So this is when he's talking about the accident. The little accident theme is playing behind him. So you're getting the themes of both of their trauma, kind of. And I got a little acoustic guitar on there as well, because I figured it needed some rhythm to that point. Some harmonics for kicks. We need Tree Guy's name so we can stand. His name is Poor Man. I called him the Poor Man. That's his name. Apple theme. We know that the information's coming. And then he's gonna tell him. He's gonna tell him. Oh my goodness. Nope. We leave them on the 4. Yikes. And then, when Jasper shows up, Jasper! Aww, that was so much fun to play again. It's been a while since I've played that theme, so. And then we get Jasper's speech about Quinn, and this was so much fun to write. This is his speech about Quinn when he's like, I've never had a best friend before, and so I decided to use this theme. Hello. That's so fun. I'll play that again. So end on a little Jasper note. No, not yet. That's the Apple theme that plays in there. So a little Benjamin and Oliver mix in there as well, because he's asking, like, I understand the dream stuff and I need your help. So on like the dream stuff, you get a little Apple theme, or I don't understand the dream stuff. And then when he's asking Benjamin for help, it plays Benjamin's theme, which I thought was so sweet. Arthur and Lydia scene is really straightforward. It's mostly just the Mrs. Hill's theme. Love that scene though. My parents did such a good job on it. I saw in the comments that people were like really appreciating their voice acting, and always give them more because they deserve it. Like, it's really astounding. They're not actors, and they are just, well, they're not actors professionally, but they just, nail it. They nail it. This is, sorry, I'm missing this. For intertwining storytelling and music, was there a mentor moment album that inspired you? The storytelling in To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar is truly extraordinary, and it made me realize that music can do so much more than just be a nice song. Like, that is a journey of an album. In fact, all of his albums are, but that really hit home. But I've always enjoyed making music for stories. My dad used to do this thing where he would sit by the piano and he would give me prompts for stories, and he would tell the story, and I was supposed to score along, like improvise, score along with it. And I was like a kid, and he would do this because he knew I loved it, and he was, he really supported me in that. And he, would tell like really funny stories because he's a really funny guy. And I would like, so there are the romantic duo, walking along the beach when all of a sudden, like, invasion by aliens. And, how do you adjust the theme that you're already playing? And so I took that and I loved Bionicles growing up. And I loved like the lore of Bionicles, like those Lego action figures. And I would read all the books about the Bionicles, and I watched all the shows and the movies about Bionicles, and I had all the toys. That was like my thing. And I loved making up my own stories about about the Bionicles, and I was like young, so I would like play imaginary games, you know, with my Lego action figures, and I would go downstairs and I would like, this is the first time I remember this, I would write themes for each of the Bionicles. I'd be like, this one's ice, so it has to be very high and very cold and like minor and da-da-da-da. So I've always loved it. And it's really fun to like have characters on film that I can kind of create those themes for and, you know, mix and match, because that's the most fun. Like, when does Jasper's theme, very rarely does it become minor, but when does it become minor so I can like sneak in Benjamin and Oliver in there? And it's not like very advanced, it's just like, it's fun. And so I have like fun with it. What is 5.5B score? Oh, this is fun. This is when they're going into Benjamin's room and you get this theme that happens in the Benjamin Oliver theme. It's very distorted. But this is the triplet pianos that are playing during Benjamin Oliver's theme that I've never really showcased by themselves. But it was meant to, when I wrote the theme, it was like, oh, this will communicate the tenderness of the relationship between the two. And I've never had the chance to use it. And so it was really nice to use it like by itself. That was really fun. 5.5 didn't really have a score. Oh, yeah. When Oliver wakes up. So sad. So we get... That's his accident theme. But like played on sort of like a wine box feeling thing. So it gives you the sense of like his brother is so young and so fragile and this theme is playing and it's like, ugh. That's a toughie. The rest is sort of, I don't know. There's the score for the very first scene. My phone keeps almost like shutting off and I don't know why, so I keep touching it. Sorry if it's making a noise. Hello? Where is it? Here we go. So this is where we get the very first kind of gritty, long hum. We get the reverse. So I did the same effect on that piano and that synth that I do on the voices when you're hearing a memory come back. So I did that on the piano, so you get this drawn out major fourth coming over it, if you listen. And then it hits. Isabel's theme, because that's what he just came out of, was finding out what he had done to Isabel. Low sustained note into Mrs. Hills' theme. This is my favorite part. Woo! Oh! None of those notes belong inside of that chord, and it. Oh, then we go into Benjamin Oliver theme. We transition a half note. So now we're in a completely different key to set us up for Minute for Yourself, because that's where the key my voice works the best. Cheating. And then obviously the very beginning, which was so much fun to write. So this was interesting. Yeah. I've waited a very long time to meet you. So, what I was originally planning for this intro was like, it was going to be soft jazz or like classical music behind. Maybe I was going to incorporate If I'm Your Type, You're My Keyboard again, like as kind of a fluttery background. But I knew that I had already edited the episode for the most part. I already edited all of it. And I was like, this is a doozy of an episode. Like, this is emotionally taxing. And if I start on that kind of low, subdued note, it's not going to pick up anywhere. Like, or maybe it'll pick up occasionally, but I need to hit strong so that way we've climbed a thing and we can now coast down. We can kind of paraglide down from there. And so I just went on a limb and I made it like this kind of funky, hard-hitting, bassy beat. And I tried to make it sound, I don't know if this makes sense, but I tried to make it sound like expensive, like those little dings, you know, those kind of like, I imagine how I justified in my head is that James Jasperson has done everything and he's a little bored. And so he's like one of those people who listens to like fancy department store, European French EDM, like while lounging, like because he's so bored and and the newest thing is sort of like, yeah, sure, I'll listen to that. And so here in this, you know, it juxtaposes completely the tea and the vibe of the room, and there he is listening to like this like French EDM, sort of like, yeah, I'm expensive. And I don't know, I wanted that feeling behind it, especially because he's meeting the person who created his universe, which is, you know, pretty insane. And he wants the whole scene, as I was telling my mom when we were recording it together, the whole scene is him finally meeting a person who has created him. He is so about manipulating realities and like making himself like the most powerful person wherever he goes. And here is the ultimate person who's more powerful than him. So what is he going to do? Immediately be like, I know more than you. Look, I know more than God. I've met God. I've met her, and I know more than her. Aha. And Mrs. Hills the entire time is just about, you know, like, enough of these games. Like, I want to find what I want to find. Meanwhile, James knows, obviously, that Quinn was really suffering in her home because Quinn went to James to get out of there. And James taught Quinn how to become a lucid and took him out. And that's why he knows where Quinn is. And crazy stuff. Finding a way to make your mom goddess. Yeah. But that's it. That's about it. If you stuck around for this whole thing, thank you so much. If you haven't seen Lucids 5, please go check it out. If you haven't seen any of Lucids, please go check it out. It's one of my favorite things. I've enjoyed doing it so much, and I really, really, really like it. I'm gonna, work on number 6 now.